Welcome, everyone, to Systems Lab Live. This is the January 30th edition. I'm very excited to be here with you all on this wonderful Monday. Many of you all probably are used to the 8 o'clock time slot. Yes, but for I think from the 16th on, um, well, let me double back. The 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th, I've adjusted it to the 8:30 time slot. Why? Because I'm in the sustainable podcasting course. It's been a live class teaching about more foundations behind podcasting. Okay. And it's very exciting. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing with that and how that connects to another point that I want to make. But I want to welcome you all to the Systems Lab Live. This is a weekly live show program dedicated to leading projects, managing teams, and developing processes. This is about leadership, strategy, and execution. We are at the intersection of technology, operations, and project management. So every week we have segments for the show. The first is a show and tell with Ask Ash. So what I do during this segment, it's multi-use. So what will happen is I'll pick an article, um, I'll introduce my progress, and that's a little hint about the public roadmap. We'll talk about what I'm learning. I'll show you what's trending out in the world of productivity and managing our time and our tasks and what's happening. We will also take a look at from the technology space in the technology startup space through the lens of Black entrepreneurship. So we'll talk about founders and VC and all of that as well. And so I love that piece. We'll talk about productivity. We'll talk about how we can communicate better, how we can work better, and then we'll talk about topical things that are trending in the news or things that are bubbling up that affect and impact the work we do on a daily basis. Love it. Our next segment, process and flow, will have, and that's our lesson of the day. A process and flow is really a time of teaching, a lesson, maybe three or four points, things that I want to share with you all. And then lastly, we'll have a what's next and a call to action. This year, we're doing something different. Well, not necessarily different. What's going on, Jason and Jax? I probably was doing this starting last March or April. April's March or April. I was doing this last year. I started to do more themed seasons, like themed series, which I think worked out really well organizationally for me, being able to structure out the episodes and the content. And so what I've done now is I kind of have a 90, well, I have the first 6 months planned out, may change after March, we'll see. But the overarching season that we're in, I guess you would call it, is project essentials. We're talking key topics per month on what we're doing in terms of the projects that we're working on and we're building. So, for instance, all of January, project product project activation. What do you do to get started on the project so that you can be able to execute with success? Now, we could spend a whole year on that alone. But I took key concepts from that piece. We spent a lot of time for the past 3 weeks talking about scope and requirements. We talked about, all of these different things. So I will actually put all of those episodes in a playlist on my YouTube channel, which if you're on LinkedIn, fantastic. I'm glad you're watching there. If you're on Instagram, that's great. Go to the link in the bio. You'll see a little heading that says Systems Lab Live. Click on that, subscribe. And yeah, that's that. So next month, we do have a new theme. Next month is about money. We're talking about the mean green, as the OJs would say. We're talking about the almighty dollar. We're going to talk about budgeting with projects. That's going to be great. This is something that I know that I don't talk enough about it. I, yeah, I don't talk enough about it. And I don't know in terms of content wise what I've seen out there, if there's a lot out there. So we're going to spend the month talking about budgets and money and why, again, when we talk about project essentials, we're talking about essential aspects of building of building at your project. And so the budgeting piece is something that I think we talk about it in context to like different types of things, like, okay, I'm going to have a virtual event, or, oh, I'm going to, like, I'm going to start podcasting, right? And, and so I need to figure out what's going to cost and what's not going to cost. Or, if you're in your business and you're like, okay, I need to start hiring, what does that look like? So I think there's a lot of conversation around, okay, here we go. Like, obviously, we're going to spend money to put on said project, but what does that actually look like in totality? Like, how do we start breaking that down? What should we consider? How should we research money and people and resources and technology? Yeah, I think there's a lot to dig into with that in the month of February. So we'll have a good time going through some key components of that. So I'm going to flesh out really what all four of those lessons will look like. And then we'll also have the case study of the month. I pivoted to try not to do like a case study every week that was like brand new. I decided, why don't we just break it up? Why don't we just break it up? So we'll be focusing on the creator's economy, and yeah, the creator's economy in February. So we'll be doing a case study on project workflows, organizing your content, um, yeah, all these different things. So we'll do some ClickUp show and tells, and we'll do some app demos, and we'll talk about what it means to, yeah, what it means to do all the things when it comes to the creator's economy and the workflows. So that'll be fun. We can talk about money. Like I said, talking about money. And We're going to talk about budgeting and best practices and things that I'm learning and things that I want to share with you all. And then we're going to do creators economy case study, focusing solely on the project workflows, organization, and things of that nature. This year, you'll definitely see in the content that I have out a lot of intersection, okay, of project management. And what many don't, I don't want to say don't understand, but they may not realize is that the whole thing about project management is really creating a vehicle that can really help bring your idea from start to finish, from idea to execution, to make it from a dream to a reality. And so I don't want to I want to make sure that you all understand, it's so applicable to everything that you're doing. So I want to take these opportunities to have case studies to do the intersection of how you can start looking at project management inside of your business. It's one of the most underrated processes inside of organizations, businesses, and brands today. Oh, I love this. I just saw like a little, what do you call those little notifications on your phone? I don't know why all of a sudden I wanted to be a mayor of a Sim City. Let's talk about it. I probably 5 or 6 years ago, I probably was into like games on your phone. Listen, I'm probably gonna let the people die at this point. I haven't been back. I was back. I was building something, and it's been a few hours. I don't know. It's too funny. But back to what I was. But back to what I was saying. Um, so you're gonna see a lot from me on the intersection of how project management can be applied to everyday work and inside many different industries. So not too long ago, um, not too long ago. It probably was in June, May or June, starting in May, going into June. I did a 7-part series, and I just saw it on my YouTube channel because I thought I took it down for some reason, but I didn't. And I started watching some of it. I did a full 7-part series on content operations. I think that one of them was called the secret behind Nike's content strategy. One of the episodes, or two of the episodes, I talk all about what I was learning, which is I've been studying. Just go back into my third point that I want to kind of talk to you all about today, is that I will be releasing very soon, after I do the workup for February. Hey, what's going on, Mason? I'm going to get back to you very shortly on that project. It's good to have people who understand your vision and what you're trying to do. Thank you, Mason. And I'm going to so once I'm gonna get you all the lessons for the 4 weeks in February. And there's 4 weeks, right? Yeah, it's 4, not 5. 4 weeks, 4 lessons, 4 weeks. And then I'm also gonna do a public roadmap on what I'm learning. I got inspired by Will, the Notion Dad. Shout out to Will, the Notion Dad on Twitter. I'm one of the Notion ambassadors, which is a super cool community that I've been a part of for like, I think this is like a year and a half. I think. I think it's a year. A year. Maybe it's 1 year. Maybe it's 1 year. I think it is. I think it's 1 year. I don't know. But it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride. So I like him a lot because he's like the only one that I know that uses ClickUp and Notion at the same time. Notion Dad. I think I got it. He's the only one, people, that uses Notion as much as I do. Like I use Notion. It's a daily thing. So it's Will, the Productive Dad. He's a Notion creator and ClickUp consultant. He helps companies turn chaos into systems. So he had something really cool that I was like very much inspired by. I was like, he's genius. I really like this, guys. And I can take my little overlay off. He's cool because he he does really cool work and does some really fun stuff. Like he made like a Notion invoice generator. He's received a testimonial, which is cool. But he had it on his website. Is it right here? No, it's not. But he's really good at sharing his updates. And so him and then another young lady was talking about showcasing your process. And so um I've been it's not like I have been secretive about it, but I've talked and I've said in DMs and other spaces, I'm on this journey of understanding product development, product marketing, the development of a product. And so, in order to keep aspects of what I'm doing and what I want to share, because there's a lot of times where, and there's only so much time in the day and so much, what have you, that I don't, I may not know the best ways and the mediums to showcase like the process in the way that I would like to, right? Like I have, you know, I don't know how many, I have so many videos for the past 2 years. It's just, it's just out of control. Like from July 2020 until now, I have, I have so many hour-long videos. It's not even funny. And I know I've only scratched the surface of like creating in Descript and doing clips and, you know, all these different types of things, right? And so, yeah, it's amazing. So, with that said, uh, and I will have a point in the process in my journey where I will actually be able to have people a little bit more regularly that can actually help me sift through and take some of this content that I have and just like do some cool things with it. So, I mean, and so we'll, you guys have probably seen my Airtable base. And it grows a lot. And I was able to actually pull some old content because I had a great conversation via email with someone that sparked an old content. And so I went into my Airtable database. I did a little search and I pulled the reel and then posted it on LinkedIn. So yeah. So we can, and next month we'll get into all the things about creators economy, project management, and the intersection of that. And that'll be exciting. Then I will be, I think so. We'll see how things get approved. But I'm looking forward to this presentation I'll be doing soon on podcasting workflows, or creator workflows. That'll be good. It'll be fun. Okay, so I think we're clear. February is all about the mean green, all about budgeting. We're doing the case study on the creator's economy and project management, organizing workflows, all the things, all month long. It'll be splendid. What's going on? Oh, Hardy Live. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. And then we'll also talk a bit about the public roadmap so that you guys can see what exactly that I am learning and studying. And then I'll give updates too while I'm live for the show and tell portion. So we have that piece. That's also going to be great because there'll be also another form of like capturing the process, right? Documenting the process. So even with that, like I said, there's case studies, there's reports, there's all these things. I know that I know another book I'm going to buy. Well, I'll just tell you the areas. It'll be artificial intelligence. Do I have feelings on Chat GPT? Or any of the other AI tools? Not really. Um, I think, was it Pepper.ai, Copy.ai? There's always been AI type things lingering about anyway, right? But with the rise of all of these different types of apps and especially Chat GPT, I know I had to ask myself the honest question, what exactly is artificial intelligence? I mean, I'm just gonna be, honest. And I can't define it. Like I don't know what it is, and I don't know. And so, and for me, because many people ask, okay, are you going to embark upon Chat GPT? I've logged onto the website. I haven't logged in, but I've logged. I read a lot. I'm all for everybody's reviews because I think everybody's opinions are relevant, and you get to kind of see the temperament of how people are responding to things. And so I think that's cool too. For me, I always have to take a step back and say, especially because I'm a process person, how does Chat GPT, how is it going to impact my workflow for better or for worse? Right. And so I'm just in the throes of just streamlining some aspects of it. Like I'm literally rebuilding I started that in December. Like starting the whole aspect of like, what is the content? What are my pillars? What's my formats? Right? Picking the project management tool I'm going to manage the content and that piece out of, right? What else? And then now I'm just getting into, and I just have a skeleton really right now of the content workflow itself. So I kind of think that what's really important is knowing when and how to respond to certain things. And I know for myself that I already have things are that I recognize that I need to streamline anyway. So I need to see, like, visually, and then I need to experience it too to see what is the workflow, and then think about introducing another tool, right? Like, I've had Descript for man, probably about a little over a year, and I'm just playing around with some of, like, the newer features of, like, the captions and the things like that. And there's really powerful things within Descript. I don't even know, and I'm paying for it. So, when I think about that, I'm thinking like, wow, like I have things from the System Lab Live that I can create, and then I can go and like literally post it directly from Descript to YouTube, which is super cool. I thought I could do YouTube shorts, but that's neither here nor there because I could always export anything and just like, put it on there. So it's no big deal. So, and they have templates and things. And so I'd love to spend some time if I need to just exploring um that aspect. So again, I'll be walking through what I've been learning with Scary Smart by Mo. I think is it Mo Gawat? Gawatat, Gawat, I believe. So Scary Smart. So I'm reading that via Kindle with the Readwise app. That's all a part of the knowledge management piece, so I can quickly get to things to highlight with. Um, yeah. So we'll be examining that and looking into that. Um, is there any other books? There are other books. There is gonna be um let me see this one. I gotta buy it too. Do, 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 do. Upper Hand by Sherelle Dorsey. The future of work for the rest of us. So these are, things that are relevant to what we do on Systems Lab Live. So that's also a huge thing. So the AI piece, because there's a direct connection to productivity and how we do things. Upper Hand, the future of work for the rest of us. And I think that's going to be a really great book. And again, it's for me, it's the intersection of work, of operations, of PM, of technology. And so what the Upper Hand offers is, which is really cool, delivers a personal and eye-opening exploration of how to ensure that marginalized communities aren't left behind as technology continues its inexorable march forward. Readers will think about how we can strategically shape the coming decade to include Black and Brown communities. So this is going to be really cool to go through and talk about. Now it says, it's going to offers guidelines and frameworks for navigating the new world that is dominated by Silicon Valley rooted technologies, inaccessible networks, and constant automation that continues to slash jobs in the Black and Latinx population. So we're gonna read that. I'll share my insights with you all. So that should be really good. I feel great about that. We'll also look at Bet on Black by Ebony K. Williams as well. Yeah. And so that should be really good. So we're gonna see, right? Um, it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting nonetheless. And I think to have these intersections, right? I think it's going to just make what we're learning about, what we're growing about, what we're leading when it comes to the work and the things that we're doing. I think it's going to help elevate what we do every day. help us think about things on a different level. So I'm very excited about that. So with that said, it is 9:01. And we still have 3 segments to go. Well, really 2. We got 2 segments to go. I want to go and share my screen. And I want to give a big shout out to Miro. Miro's one of my faves. And let's see. I'm going to let me click out of a couple things. I'm going to share my screen so we can go to the presentation. I want a big shout out to Miro because I actually really enjoy creating presentations from Miro. So, what we have on the agenda for today, and where do we get the presentation button? Presentation. Okay, cool. We got the presentation. We're ready to rock and roll. So, for this piece, oh, look at this. Come on now. It is the 30th. Come on, editing on the fly. So what we're doing tonight for tonight's agenda, show and tell. We're going to go over one article by the CEO of the Spice Suite, who recently bought $1 million, a $1 million strip mall platform. What's going on, Lashana West? And that's fascinating. Why is that important? We have black owned woman ownership, creating opportunities for other business owners. It's exciting. So we'll talk about that a little bit for a few minutes. Then we will go through Slack and talk a bit about Slack and some cool features of Slack, what you can do inside of Slack. And then we'll talk about tools to stay organized. We talked a lot this month all on, how to start building out your project and things that you need to do. So as you may be already currently doing this, but I think it's always good to think about, all right, where do I house this information? What is the single source of truth? So we'll talk about that as well. As we go right here, this is Angel Gregorio, owner of the Spice Suite. Okay. She bought a $1 million property to open up a strip mall for Black owned businesses. How exciting is that? She expanded her business to Spice Suite in Washington, D.C. And she, in December of 2021, she purchased a 7,500 square foot lot for $1 million with assistance from DC's Commercial Property Acquisition Fund. And she's officially named the property Black and Fourth, located in DC's Langdon neighborhood, a local of local Black owned businesses. Okay, she named it Black and Forth, which I love. It's a catchy and cool name that I created to describe my process of going back and forth with Black business owners. And now it is the name of a shopping center, a strip mall that I own in DC. So I feel good about that and I'm grateful. So that's exciting. I live right near there. I definitely need to check this out. Black and Forth. I just heard on the podcast Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams, she was reading a little excerpt about, I think she was talking about power and wealth, but essentially she was talking about the power of ownership and why we need it and why that is important, especially for our community. And so, like Gregorio, one of the things of why we do and will highlight, Black entrepreneurs, especially as I'm examining the tech startup through the Black founder lens in business ownership, it's important, right? I think it's really important to see what's possible and to be able to understand and to celebrate what's happening. This is big. I mean, $1 million to buy a whole strip mall. I mean, come on. I mean, and then to give the opportunity to other Black business owners, it just makes a statement. And it's powerful. Let's see. What else did she say that I thought this was really good? In the next 3 to 4 weeks, Hair, nail, waxing, and braid salons will join the Spice Suite, the outlet details. As DC rent prices continue to be out of reach for many residents, Gregorio aims for her strip mall to serve as an example of what economic empowerment and freedom through business and commercial spaces look like. So, bravo to this power move. I think this is fantastic. This is something that's necessary, and we thank you for just doing it. So very exciting, very, very exciting. What else? What else? What else? What else? We're gonna go into Slack. Let me and let me know in the chat too when you're talking about things that you are working on, and I'd love to know too. What are you working on? What is how has it been like this process of your projects, like in terms of what you've been working on? What's been your experience? It's been great? Has been slower than usual? I think this is important for us to track through and to really to know what's really happening. Oh no, I think it's this one. I'm gonna open up this Slack space. So in the chat, I'd love to know what y'all working on. How y'all feeling about it? What are you all working on? Anything cool? I know y'all be working on something. So last time we talked about how to create a channel, managing people in Slack, the Slack huddle, and integrations. So I'm gonna switch to this tab right here. Cool. Y'all can see it. All right. So what's going on, Joe Shabed? Congratulations on your wedding. How exciting. How very exciting. So Slack, let's talk a bit about Slack. I think, one of the things that is, really important to note is that, communication is just it it's just instrumental. What's going on, Devonte Moffitt? Oh, it's been a long time, sir. How are you doing with your goals? How are your classes? It's really important that we understand the importance of a single source of truth. So let's talk about that terminology. Single source of truth. I picked it up. Shout out to the originators of that comment. But single source of truth really, really nails down and really zeroes in on what do we know to be true about our projects and our tasks, our communication at any given time. And so centralizing communication, utilizing Slack, utilizing Volley, shout out to the Volley app people, brand new sort of async coaching, consulting, membership community, all the things that go on. Having a single source of truth will help you to streamline communication. Now, are there other apps? Yes, there are. What is it? Yammer. I mean, it's Microsoft. I think if you go to if you're into the Microsoft world, okay, if you go to Microsoft world, then you have, I think, Yammer, MS Teams, same type of concepts, same types of concepts that go on, right? If you go on the Google route, you can go to Google Spaces, Google Chat, and creating project channels based on the projects, right? That's something that we talked about last week. So inside of your single source of truth, I went in. Okay, good. This is kind of, maybe a little too in, but I just want y'all to be able to see. Channels are great for separating out projects in the work at hand. What you can do inside is you can do a few things. You could record a video clip audio clip. You can attach attachments like PDFs and such, share files. You can mention someone, which is great. You can also do emojis, add different types of emojis. Ooh, there's new emojis available. Ooh, I want to gratitude. Let's do it. What else can you add? See, Slack be coming up with some new, lots of new different things. Add emoji. Look at that. And you can do custom, or you can do emoji packs. Add an emoji pack if you want to. Add emoji. This type of thing actually excites me. So okay. I guess we do, listen, we're gonna do all four. This is exciting. So, you can go in and like go and see. So you can do all sorts of things like purple heart, whatever you want to do. You can also add a link to a website, a link to a task if you're using ClickUp, or any other PM tool. If you go to add apps, browse a directory, and they have recommended apps like, oh no, not just kidding. I don't want to do Trello. You can just search, right? You can do email, you can do Asana, Outlook. So shout out to all of the, again, Microsoft users in the building. Blue Jeans. Let's see. That's a, and then you can browse this directory. Let me see. Let me do this one right here. You can do ClickUp right here. And there's also some sort of attendance and PTO. So it's worth noting too that when you add apps, one of the things that you should do is you should also, again, when it comes to the process piece, think about the people, think about how you want to use it, think about some use cases, do some screenshots, write some things up. It'll be good if you are the creator of the process, if you are the one spearheading, setting up Slack or onboarding your team to Slack. You will want to have a few use cases on how you want to utilize the tool, especially when it comes to all of the apps and the integrations. So as we look inside of the actual messaging space, lots of things you can do with it. Bold, italicize. Hello, did you get the project file? And then you can bold it. You can also italicize if you need to. If you need to number things, you can number. If you also need to edit a message, you can click the three dots. It's pretty standard for in a lot of places about the three dots. And you can say, I need feedback by, and you could also put maybe a date, 2/3/23. Okay. So, which is great, right? Ooh, date. Wanted to do an emoji if you wanted to, right? Also too, again, you can, put some standard reactions if you want to. Some things that you can do that I think are helpful is if you wanted a decision to be made inside here, and this is something that I pulled from one of the Todoist articles, is you can literally make a decision and you don't have to have a meeting, which is really cool. So let me break this down. So decision, I'm going to do decision 1A, and this is going to be under the category of technology choice. Okay? For virtual, hold on, for virtual event. Okay? So I'm going to go here and kind of go through explanation or background, and I'm going to say background, this We have researched, I'm going to go right here. We have researched 3 platforms for our virtual event. I think it's called Remy, Poppin, Blue Jeans, I think. Decision. And you can even put, see, my little emoji bar is pretty whack, but you can go here and make a cool like decision thing. Okay, I choose blue too. Where is I'm gonna do orange. And then I'm gonna do, and so you can make the decision. It's gonna be Remy, Poppin, and blue jeans. I love it. So people can vote using like the emoji. Vote for your favorite based on the demo presented. Right? Vote using the colored circles. Look how dope this is, right? So what people can do is go and, ooh, look at this. Where's the orange? Ha. Oh. And that's cool, right? Because then people, based upon the reactions, can go in and actually vote on this. And that's a way that you can create your decision and have something vote on it. Isn't that cool? All right. What else can I show you inside of Slack? Because, it's great. Again, huddles are strictly where you can add one team member and talk about things. And then I think you can utilize the video if you wanted to. What else can you do here? Copy huddle link, which is cool. Camera background, video and mic settings as well. So can they see me? I think you have a larger you. Wow. This is pretty cool. And then every huddle has a thread. Every huddle has a thread. Oh, you can't see that piece of it. Hold on. Can I share this tab? I think I can. So this is what the huddle looks like. And every huddle, so you can send messages and files and you can, see people. And then you can also share your screen if your screen needs to be shared. You can do that as well. What else? Okay, these are just the settings. Add a topic. Strategy meeting on strategy meeting on communications. Cool. I'm going to add that. You can share a file. You can also, too, if you need to reply in here, if there's like information that's needed, maybe you can also check this and it can send it to the entire channel if you need to. Show captions if you need to, choose the huddle theme, right? You can go back to Project Alpha. And then once again, you can huddle with somebody if you need to huddle. And this is just a great way inside of the app to be able to streamline your communications on this piece. So I'm here for it. This is one of the best that's out here. A really, really cool and dynamic feature. Let's see. Let's go back here and share the screen. I think I just have one more thing to really share for this. Project Alpha. Oh, I think it's it, right? Okay. Very good. And then I can toggle we can toggle this off. Oop, I'm gonna toggle that off. Okay. Let's see. One thing I think you all should also know as well. If you have anything that's draft, that's something that you can like look in here. And you can go and see like what's out here. You can also see what's been sent, and also you can schedule messages. And you can just say, hey team, guess what? Surprise. You all have cookies being delivered to your house. Let's see, it'll catch up in a minute. Being delivered to your house at 12 noon. And then you can go and schedule for tomorrow at 9. And so you have a scheduled message. So you can go and see all of your scheduled messages here if you need to. You can also send it to if you need to, or reschedule it. So you can delete it as well. So lots of really cool things that you can do inside of Slack. Things where you can be able to, again, have a single source of truth. Many people have sometimes a little bit of about Slack, but it's a great tool. You can organize it very well. I know that more people are looking for maybe less rigid ways, right? And so that's where I think the Volley app comes in. That's where I think if you wanted to have a more of a little bit of a looser type of hangout vibe, Discord could become something as well. I do think as we think more about how we want to collaborate with people, I do think that like the Volley app is perfect for that. So I even have it where, and if you go to the link in the show note piece of it, you'll see I have like a couple offers out there, but I have, if I know the person very well, I have just sent a talk to Ashley on Volley, because I found that to be really useful instead of going back and forth on trying to schedule a Zoom meeting. You know what I'm saying? And so there's this aspect of async communication, especially when we're looking at Slack. That's what we're balancing out, like what, when it comes to async communication, what's working, and how do we integrate it into our process. So yeah, let's see. I'm going to share this other tab. I think this is great. Fantastic. Let's see. What else did I want to share? I'm going to go straight into it, right? We're going to go straight into it when it comes to, okay, here we go. We're going to go straight into it. Tools to keep you organized. This is going to, V as in volley, VOLL, like a volleyball. That's the app. VOLLEY.app. So it's good. Okay. Let's see. what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Tools keep you organized. Okay. Again, this is about single source of truth. This is about making things easier for you as you onboard people. I mean, listen, even if you're a solo doloing, if you're the PM and the worker, more power to you, because you always will need a project management tool. One of the things that, again, just wanting to underscore, project management separate from the tool is a separate entity. We're talking about a vehicle that you actually build so that you can be able to execute on a particular outcome or deliverable. Project management tools are ClickUp, Asana, etc. All right, tools that will keep you organized. Everyone needs a project management tool, even if it's just you. Or they may even references as a work management tool or a task management tool. Whatever that you want to call it, you need it. If you are not even, some people are like, I'm not techie, I don't know how to. I just, like I said, just got my mother to start using Todoist. Start to plan out your task. Lightweight task management, perfect. You can achieve the same thing inside of project, but inside of ClickUp, but and it's super. And ClickUp's more powerful. You can do a lot of things. You can scale really quickly with it. Yeah, ClickUp is great, and lots of integrations with it within. You can integrate with Miro, Zoom, so many things that you can integrate with Airtable on a kind of view only basis. What else? Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, everything. It's just a lot of integrations that you can utilize within ClickUp itself. Um, I put Miro as a team collaboration app because I've been using Miro since the middle of August of 2022. I've actually used Miro before, when it was called Real Time Board, a few years back. But I just decided that I wanted a better interactive experience in how I presented. I just didn't want to do Canva presentations as much. And I wanted a way that I can be able to workflow, use it for strategy, plan projects, and then also present. So that was like a huge thing for me. And again, as a user, an avid user, a daily user of Miro, the tool is phenomenal. Like I said, use it to present. I'm going to be using it next week to present. It's a great app. It's something that's fantastic to do workshops with and trainings with and things. And my newest hack, my newest strategy is, even before I even hit ClickUp, I'm inside of Miro. I'm getting out all the ideas. I'm centralizing all of the sticky notes and frames and boards. And in fact, I'm going to actually start creating my own Miro templates for presentations and project canvases and things like that. And it's great for team collaboration. I'm actually using it right now to do a visual plan for a project that I'm working on with another group. And we just need a way to visualize what we're doing, what we need to do next month and the month after, and really talk about the intricacies. And I need everybody to see it. And it needs to be visual. And so that's what Miro does. It helps bring out. And I'll also do a Loom video, or I may give this link to talk. But I probably will I may do a Loom so I can put a call to action on there. So yeah, so I'll probably do a Loom. I'm testing out TalkTrack for sure, just so that I can, and I sent it to someone so that they can know how to use it. So I was doing some workflow mapping there. So again, super important to do. Okay. Communication, we just went through it. Slack is number one choice for me. And then ClickUp as well, especially the tasks. And I just went over this with another team about getting into the habit of updating your tasks and things. It makes a world of difference when it comes to, the work that you're doing and things like that. um it's important to have a place and space where you can have conversation, check off tasks, collaborate with other people. Very important. um Volley app. The Volley app. Very, very key, right? Because inside the Volley app, this is a great opportunity for you to set up a way for you to communicate in a different way with your team. Um, should it replace Slack? Should you actually have a second app? Um, that's to be determined. I'd love to test it out. Well, I would love to test it out with some people in terms of collaboration and kind of seeing how that works. But you can do text and audio and video in that as well. And someone would say, well, you can do the same thing in Slack. You can. But I think Volley lends itself to, I think, tap into other aspects of bonding and work and community development that I think may not be able to happen as organically as Slack. Even though I think you can absolutely connect via Slack, but I think Volley lends itself in a little bit more of an appeal for that level of collaboration. Document storage, document and storage, it should say. Google Drive, Dropbox, definitely a place where you can just put project documents. There definitely is, and we'll definitely talk about that later on. What does it mean as a project leader? To create a repository for your projects. Where do they live? Where do they breathe? Right? And so that's really important. Google Drive is a place, I think, for a beginning aspect of it, right? And I think dependent on how large your organization gets, then you start getting into softwares that can really help you manage all of the aspects of the project itself, including the files, dividing and conquering when it comes to maybe even setting up the platform in such a way where you are able to upload what do you call risk management logs, issue management logs, things of that nature. You can have that in there as well. Being able to have a way in which you can search for answers and pull up different information. We're talking about companies and corporations. There are absolutely and maybe some of them are using OneDrive or Google Drive or Dropbox or what have you, a SharePoint site probably. But you got to think through, what does that process look like for me to excuse me, organize and manage the work. Organize and manage the work and store it. Okay. Tips on staying organized. What are some actionable steps that you can actually take? Well, I'm glad that you answered that. I'd also love to know in the chat what questions you have about some of these apps. What have you used? What is working for you right now? I'd love to know. Miro sets the tone of the project. Okay, it sets the tone. I think it's a great way for you to start doing ideation. Secondly, selecting the PM tool is going to be huge as well. Selecting where your single source of truth is. And then lastly, collaborating with a plan. I think one of the things that we left out of these tips is that the people. And so if we think about people first project management is which is what I'm leaning into. The people, your stakeholders, folks that you're working with, really important that they are a part of the process. They're central to the tools that are being used and how the processes are being created, and then having the person and the people at the center of why you're building what you're building. And with that said, we have concluded the January 30th Systems Lab Live. I also almost failed to talk to you guys about the new podcast season. How exciting! Conversations with Ask Ash, season 6, episode 1 was released last Wednesday. This is all about the communication breakdown, all the styles of communication, how we communicate with our coworkers, our team members, our clients, um, communication tools, knowledge management. We talk a lot during these next 9 weeks, all on communication, how to create a plan, how to streamline it, tips and tricks, things that you should be looking at. I'm proud of this season. This season is timely, it's needed. And I'm very, very excited about it. I was just featured in the Black Podcasters Association newsletter, all on episode 1. Episode 2 comes out tomorrow. We are living in an async world. And so you'll also hear some singing as well, if you think of kind of where I'm going with living in an async world. And so we're going to talk all about async communication, what it is, and tips and things of that nature. So tap into conversations with Ask Ash for sure. If you go inside of the show notes there, you will see a link where you can go and listen on your favorite podcast player. And so it's intentional that all these episodes are 30 minutes. You can go to the restaurant, to the store, and back because there is so much information even packed into the 30 minutes that we really need to just pull from those few nuggets, the few lessons that you have, and you can start bringing it back. You don't even have to, again, you can't implement all 10 or whatever it is that we're saying. You really want to take some practical steps back to your team. And you want to talk about, hey, I listened to this episode. You should listen to it too, and go through it and, start talking about how does this affect us as a team, as individuals, and what should we be looking for? What should we be looking for? So, whew, good stuff, people. That's it. That's all we have time for. And we'll see you in February. By the grace of God, we'll see you in February for another brand new monthly theme, the Mean Green. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So watch out for the schedule. And that's it. Talk to you all soon. Bye.